Hi dears, welcome to my channel. Today I am here with class 9, lesson 5, the fundamental unit of life. Cell is the fundamental unit of life. What was the fourth lesson, Kanna? It was structure of atoms. There I have asked you three questions. Do you remember? It's the time to answer these questions. The first question was, Dash discovered proton. Who discovered proton? Goldstein is the answer. The second one, write the notation of phosphorus having number of proton 15 and number of neutron 16. Number of protons is called the atomic number, isn't it, ma'am? Phosphorus is having its symbol P, and atomic number should be written on the base, isn't it? It is 15, and they are saying number of neutrons is equal to number of neutrons are 16. So what will be the mass number? It is the sum of proton as well as neutron. So 15 plus 16 will give you 31. 31 will be at the top. Mass number will be at the top, isn't it? This is the way of representing it. Na plus, the third question was that Na plus has completely filled K and L shell. Why? What do you mean by Na plus? Na, sodium. Sodium is having 11 electrons. But when it has become Na plus, which means what, ma? One electron has been lost or gained? Electron has been lost. Negative charge means electron is gaining, and positive charge means electron is losing. So K shell will be having. So what will be the number of electrons? Outermost electronic configuration will be having first 2 electrons, then 8 electrons. K shell will be having 2 electrons and L shell will be having 8 electrons. So it will be having completely filled octet. Isn't it? In this manner it will be Na plus 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it is having fulfilled configuration. Okay, this question is over. Question time is over. Now we are moving for the chapter 5. Here we are ending chemistry. We are starting biology. Okay, we are starting biology with a full spirit. You are here with me for learning it. Can we learn? We can start. Okay. We have seen in the case of atoms, atom is the fundamental unit. But here in the case of human or any organism, in the case of biology, in every organism, the fundamental unit of life is cells. Here we are seeing what is cell, how will the cell function, how can we see the cell, how the things will be happening in a quick manner or proper manner in the cell. All these we are going to discuss and we are going to see. Are you ready, Kanna? We are dividing it into two parts, ma. Part A and part B. In the part A, I'll tell you or I will explain the things. Cell, how is it seen? How can we see the cell? By what? We are able to see the cell. Features of the cell. Then what all things can be seen in the cell? Plasma membrane. Then moreover cell wall also we will discuss over the based on the concentration, whether it is hypotonic, hypertonic, isotonic, we are going to discuss. Then about the diffusion and osmosis we are going to refer. Then about the important thing, that is nucleus of the cell, prokaryotic and eukaryotic cell, the difference between these two. Then we are moving for cytoplasm. These are the things which we are going to discuss. Are you ready, Kanna? Okay. What is cell? It is a fundamental unit of organism. Every part of living organism will be is made of cells. We all have learned from 6th standard itself. Cell join to form tissues. Tissues combine to form organs. Organs will join to form organ system, and organ system will combine to form organism. So basic thing is what, ma? Cell. If the cell is proper, everything will be proper. Okay, ma? Okay. Then the cell, how can we see the cell? Is it possible for us to see the cell with our naked eyes? No. Robert Hooke, he was the great scientist. He discovered cell. He found a microscope. He made a microscope by himself, and through this, when he saw the bark of a cork Cork means a small branch or a small part of a tree. Okay, ma. That cork, when he had seen some honeycomb-like structures, and he called it as cell. And this will be this. It has been this join, like that. It has been something. It honeycomb-like structure he has seen. So, cell he has named it as cell means small packages. This is how the cell has come to us. Like that, it is the story behind it. Okay, ma. Now, where parts we can see the cell. Cell can be of various types. In our body, we are seeing cell are can be seen bone cell, blood cells. Then we can say nerve cells. Then ovum. You have learned in the 8th standard itself. The reproductive part, important part. They are in girls. Ovum is there, and in boys, what sperm is there. All these are small cells. These will carry their important functions. Okay. Then we are going to see how the cell will function. Okay. Cell is having important features in it. Cell is having its own a covering. We are saying it as plasma membrane. Okay. Inside it, there is a small liquid aqueous solution which contains small parts. We are saying it as cytoplasm. And well inside it, there is a center. In the atom, what is the center called? It's called nucleus. Do you remember? Yes, you remember always. That also, here in the case of cell also, there is a nucleus at the center. Okay. So, we can imagine it as a factory. Okay. To say a chocolate factory. Okay, chocolate factory. There is an outer covering, means there is a door, or we can say an entrance is there, right? Or there is something which is preventing this members of the factory to go out, and something is there which is preventing us to move inside and outside. We are saying it as membrane. Okay, the gate, well fixed gate of this factory is called as plasma membrane. Okay, inside it we can see some compartments where chocolates are made. There are raw materials will come in one side, chocolates will be made in one side, package will go in some side, from that export will be going over there. Something is going to happen, is happening in the factory, right? These are all in cytoplasm. And there is a head, means the chairperson. He is the one who is who is having high power. He will tell you should do like this, you should not do like this, you have to go from here to there. All these are we will say as chairman, or like that we will say like that nucleus is there. Okay, if we are learning in that manner, the things will be much more easy for us. Okay, plasma membrane, outer covering, inside it cytoplasm, and well inside a central character, that is nucleus. We are going to enter what is plasma membrane. Are you ready, Kanna? We are seeing plasma membrane, isn't it? Plasma membrane is the one which protect the cell from outside. Okay, the cell will be safe inside. Plasma membrane, it's the membrane which covers the cell properly. Okay, ma'am. Then what we can say, it is seen in both plants and animal cell. We have said 3 features of the cell, isn't it, ma? One is plasma membrane, second is cytoplasm, and the third is nucleus. All these 3 features can be seen in plant cell as well as in animal cell. Okay, ma? So, this plasma membrane is seen both in plants and animals. Then, we can say the plasma membrane is semi-permeable. What is the semi-permeability? That is, it allows certain things to go inside, and it will not allow some other things which are not needed for the cell to go inside, and it will not allow something to go outside also. This inside and outside is controlled by what, ma? Plasma membrane. Like in factories, some guards will be, some security people will be there for seeing whether the things are needed for the factory. They will let it inside, and something are not needed, they will not allow. Like that the plasma membrane is. Okay, ma? So, how it is functioning? How can we say that it is semi-permeable? That is, when we are saying that the plasma membrane is semi-permeable, we should say two terms. What are they? Diffusion as well as osmosis. The thing is easy, Kanna. What is diffusion? Diffusion is spontaneous movement of what? The substances, to say gas as well as liquid, from higher concentration to lower concentration is called what? Diffusion. That is, for example, in the case of cell, if the cell is having less amount of oxygen and outside the cell there is much oxygen, if you imagine. Okay, so outside there is much more amount of oxygen while inside there is a less amount of oxygen. What will plasma membrane say? See, there is less, here more, go inside, go inside, go inside, like that the plasma membrane will allow. So from higher concentration to lower concentration, what will go? This oxygen will enter. So the cell will respire and all the oxygen will be consumed. At last what happened? The carbon dioxide will be more in the cell. But outside is the carbon dioxide is there. The concentration of carbon dioxide outside is less compared to the concentration of carbon dioxide inside the cell. So what will the plasma membrane say? Here low, here high. So go outside, like that we'll say. So from higher concentration to lower concentration, whatever it is, the plasma membrane will allow the things from higher to lower concentration. Okay, oxygen to inside and carbon dioxide to outside. Okay, this is what? Diffusion. What is this? Osmosis. Movement of water. The same thing. From higher concentration to lower concentration. Water can be entered if the concentration of water inside the cell is low compared to that of outside. The water will expelled out if the cell is having more water compared to outside. This function is done only by plasma membrane. Okay. Will the cell absorb water? How will the cell release water? Based on that, we are based on this concentration of the solution, we are dividing it into three. That is hypertonic solution, isotonic solution and hypotonic solution. The same thing, if outside is having less concentration compared to inside of the cell, if the outer part of the solution is having less concentration, what will happen? From the cell, water will ooze out. So what will happen to the cell? From the cell, if the cell is fully having much more hydrated with water, and if the water is moving away from the cell, what will happen? It will shrink, right? If the air balloon is there and some 5 holes I have made, and I am all the water or the air is moving out from the balloon, what will happen? It will shrink to small, doesn't it? So what will happen? It will shrink to small. Okay. How can we see it? We can't see the cell. I told you, without a high microscope, or your eyes should be having microscopic power. It's not possible, right? So we can't see with the naked eye. But we can see some things. For example, pickled mango. Pickled mango, if you have seen, the pickled mango will be having shrinked appearance. Because if the mango has been put in salt water, highly concentrated salt water, in which amount of water is less and that inside the mango. So what will happen? After some months, it has to be taken, some months will it take, okay? But after some months, the water from the mango will ooze out and the water will be in the shrinked stage. It is hypertonic solution. Okay. Then we are moving for isotonic solution. Isotonic solution, if the concentration in the outside and inside is same. Inside of the cell is having same concentration of water and outside the solution will be having same. So it means that the water from the cell will go out, but the same water will get inside. So there will not be any problem. Okay, it will be much more better, feeling better. Okay, da? Then the third one is hypotonic. What is this hypotonic? You can say it's the opposite of hypertonic. Means outside the concentration is more, but the inside concentration is less. If we are putting the mango in water only, there should not be salt or a little salt. So if we are putting mango for months, what will happen? The mango will be bulged. Have you seen that? Mango will be bulged. Means what? Inside the concentration of water is less, but outside the concentration is more. So what will the plasma membrane do, or what will be the membrane of the mango will do? It will allow come inside. So what will happen after months? It will be fatty mango. You can see. Okay. It's in the case of egg also you can do it. Okay, the experiment you can do. It has been given in textbook. So what I want to tell you is you should have a clear idea about these solutions. Hypertonic, outside concentration less compared to inside concentration. Isotonic, same concentration on both the sides. And hypotonic, inside concentration is less compared to outside concentration. Okay. So what are the things happening? You have to learn. Now you understood about the plasma membrane, isn't it? The membrane which is seen in all the cells of plants as well as animals. There is one more layer of outer covering. It is called a cell wall. Cell wall is found only for plants, but not for animals. The cell wall is much more thicker than the plasma membrane. Plasma membrane is seen, above which some coating of coating will be seen. It is called a cell wall. It is also much more stronger. Why the cell wall is kept? For giving the rigidity for the plants. Okay, if you are touching the tree, how rough it will be, right? If you are touching your body, how soft compared to that, isn't it? Okay, and in that, because the cell wall gives much more rigidity and gives shape to it. Okay, we have forgot one thing about the plasma membrane. I forgot to tell you that how the plasma membrane is made. Plasma membrane is made of proteins and lipids. Plasma membrane is made of proteins as well as lipids. In the case of cell wall, it is made of cellulose. Cell wall is made of cellulose. Cellulose are present only in the plants. It is not seen in animals. Cellulose will be, it is seen only for plants or trees or in that category. That's why the cell wall is made of cellulose, while the plasma membrane is made of proteins as well as lipids. Okay, in the case of hypotonic, hypertonic, isotonic solutions, as we know, the plasma membrane will not break down. In the same manner, this cell wall also will not break down. Whatever solutions it is, cell wall will maximum try to keep itself steady. Okay, that's why it gives much more rigidity and strength to the plant. Okay, now we are moving for an important thing, that is about nucleus. Important part, that is nucleus. Nucleus is the headquarter of the cell. Why it is called headquarter? It is the one which controls the cellular activities. What the cell or what the plasma membrane has to get inside. What it should make it outside. There are cell organelles. If you are learning more, you will come to know cell organelles are there. What are things to be produced by cell organelles? So all these activities will be controlled by whom? By the nucleus. So it is called what, ma? Headquarter of the cell. If you want to see this, or if you want to see this nucleus, we have to give stains to the cell. If the cell is getting stained with the help of saffron or to say iodine, the color will be there, light color shade will be there. No, then if we are seeing through the microscope, we can see inside this cell there is a central point which is much more darker. We are saying it as nucleus. This nucleus is the one which is having membrane. In the case of prokaryotic cell, there is no membrane. What is this prokaryotic? There will be another term, that is eukaryotic cell. Whatever it is, we will learn it later on. But normally, in multicellular organisms, this nucleus is having covering, a coating. It is called nuclear membrane. Double layered coating is there for the nucleus. Why? As we know, in the factories or companies, there is an entrance through which only we can enter. For MD or chairperson is there, he will be having separate cabin, isn't it? If you want to see that person, you have to have a wait for some time and you have to inform, then only you are able to get enter like that. As the nucleus is the supreme power, it is covered. Nuclear membrane, double layered chamber is there. The nuclear membrane is the which covers the nucleus. So what will the nuclear membrane do? It also is semi-permeable. It will allow certain things to go outside. Hey, hello, you are not allowed to see my nucleus. Like that, it will be having the authority. Did you get my nuclear membrane is the why I am telling you is to make it much more easy for you to get into the brain. Okay, ma? Don't feel that why this ma'am is teaching like that. It's not like that. To make it easy for you to understand. So nuclear membrane is there. Okay. Why the nucleus is having the supreme power, you know? The nucleus contains certain things which make it powerful. That is, nucleus contains nucleolus, chromosome, chromatin thread. This chromatin thread contains DNA and protein. Have you ever heard about this word DNA? In the films as well as in serials. Who is the father of this child? Go and take DNA test, right? DNA test. This DNA, our DNA, special DNA is inside this nucleus. That's why the nucleus is having that much power. Okay. The DNA is inside this nucleus. Okay. So, what all things are there? There are nucleolus, chromosome, chromatin thread, and the chromatin thread contains DNA and a protein, as I told you. Moreover, the nucleus is the one which is doing the leading role for cell division. Okay, cell reproduction, or we will say the cell division only can be done only with the help of this nucleus. All these are done in nucleus. We all know every cell is having what, ma? Nucleus. But in the case of prokaryotic, what is the meaning of prokaryotic? Single cell organism. There are organisms which are having only single cell. One cell is there for it to live. Certain organisms, they are also microscopic, but these kind of organisms are called prokaryotic organisms. And the cell is called prokaryotic cell. And multi-cell are called what, ma? Eukaryotic. Okay, ma? We all are multi-cell organism. But for the prokaryotic cell will be having not well defined nucleus. This nucleus is not well defined. Means only this much is there. The size of this prokaryotic cell is very small. 1 to 10 mu m, that is 10 raised to minus 6 meter. That much small it is. So inside that nucleus is there is a membrane over it? No, membrane is not there. Nuclear membrane is absent in this prokaryotic cell. Nucleus is there, but the membrane is not there in this prokaryotic. Moreover, nucleus is not well defined. Nucleus will be seen, it's not well defined. We can't take it specially like that. It is not that much defined. Okay, then what else? There are much more cell organelles that also will be not having membrane bonding. Membranes are not bonded for the cell organelles. In the case of what, ma? Prokaryotic cell. Example, bacteria. Okay. In the case of eukaryotic cell, nucleus is well defined. Which means we can see the nucleus clearly. And nuclear membrane is there for covering it. Okay. Then the organelles. Organelles are also covered with membranes. And moreover, we can see the eukaryotic cell is little larger compared to prokaryotic cell. It is much more larger compared to this prokaryotic cell. All these are the difference between prokaryotic and eukaryotic cell. Eukaryotic cell examples also to say our human being, not only that plant cell and whatever it is we can say as the examples. Multicellular organisms are all examples for the eukaryotic cell. Okay, ma? Now the things are clear. Why the chromosome or this chromatin thread is important? As I told you, DNA test they are taking. If you are taking this DNA test, they will come to know who is the father or who is the mother of the child. Which means the inheritance will be transferred through this DNA. That is the main reason why nucleus is important. The inheritance, who is your father, who is the forefather, all this information from generation to generation, DNA will be able to pass. That's why the DNA or chromosome are very, very important. This chromosome will be single-stranded or single chromosome is present in prokaryotic, while in eukaryotic, more than one chromosome can be seen. Okay, ma? These are the main difference between prokaryotic, eukaryotic. Now we are moving to see what, ma? We are moving to see cytoplasm. What is that? We are seeing. Did you get? Up to this extent, we have seen plasma membrane, the outer covering, and the headquarter, who is the nucleus. Now, there is something which is inside the plasma membrane other than nucleus. That is called what, ma'am? It is called cytoplasm. It is having aqueous solution. In that, something is floating. We are saying it as cell organelles. Cell organelles are floating inside what, ma'am? In this cytoplasm. This plasma membrane is covering something, no? The plasma membrane is as a guard for covering this cytoplasm which is inside it. Okay, it is an aqueous solution in which cell organelles are floating. Okay, this fluid inside the plasma membrane is called what, ma? Cytoplasm. Then cytoplasm contains two parts. One is cytosol and the other is cell organelles. Cytosol means, as I told you, aqueous part in the cytoplasm is called what, ma? Cytosol. In this, something will be floating. We are saying it as cell organelles. Actually, it is the organs of the cell. Which cell organelles are different types and they are having its own functions. Okay, what are the functions of the cell? Or specific cell organelle has their own function. And who is controlling everything? Our nucleus. This is about the cytoplasm and what all organelles are present in the cytoplasm and what are the functions of them we are learning in part B.